Hello there, it's Alex here from TotalHeadturners, and today we've got a really special treat. I'm going to show you around three beautiful Tornado GT40s. We're very lucky today to have three beautiful different liveried cars, all Mark 1 GT40s and all by Tornado Sportcars. Tornado have produced probably around about 1,700 cars since they started. It's a real treat today to have a beautiful selection of different liveries, different aged cars, but all very similar at the same time. I'm going to talk you through the three cars and show you some of the real amazing features and beautiful differences on these three Tornado GT40s. These three GT40s almost look different sizes and look very different, although they're all the exact same body, chassis and size of car. The liveries make the cars look different sizes, shapes. The suspensions are fully adjustable, so they can be sat higher or lower. You can fit different wheel sizes depending on the size of brakes you want to run on the car, different types of mirrors, and I'm going to show you around a few of the little different features on the different cars. First thing I'll probably show you is the wheel sizes. This car is running 15-inch wheels with a bigger balloon tyre, much more of an original look. A car like this is running the standard Tornado brake setup, which for fast road use is brilliant. If I take you across to the Essex Wire car, you'll see the Essex Wire car is running a bigger 17-inch wheel. This particular one's painted all black. The colours of them, whether you want polished rims, different colour centres can be changed. This has got the wheelwood brake upgrade. In order to run a bigger disc, bigger calipers, you obviously need to run bigger wheels. And you'll see again on the Golf car, also we're running here 17-inch wheel. This has got high spec brake calipers on it, so hence the bigger 17-inch wheel to run the bigger brakes. But all the same style of GT40 wheels, these two GT type wheels, and more of the Halley brand style on the Alan Mann car. Believe it or not, the first and original GT40s, many of them didn't run mirrors. You'll see these three cars being road cars have got mirrors. The Essex Wire car, a black bullet mirror, and the Golf GT40 car has got the polished aluminium style mirrors. These mirrors are mounted on the door, give you quite good visibility and look very classic. If you do want better visibility out of a GT40, a more modern style mirror, like the racing mirrors that we're running here on the Alan Mann car, will come out further and give you a better rear visibility. The big difference you'll notice in the look of the three cars is that the Alan Mann replica has got these rear brake ducts known as periscopes on the back. This used to force air in and push it down towards the brakes to give extra cooling for the brakes on the GT40s. They can be retrofitted to any of the GT40s. They're an extra you can buy, and this is on this car to give it that exact true and faithful Alan Mann look. I wanted to show the interior of the Alan Mann car. I really love the black on black with the red seat belts, which really offsets the Alan Mann red and gold livery. Wanted to point out about the leather GT40 style seats. All three cars have got this style of seat, and you'll notice these little perspiration holes there were to let out any hot and sweat from sitting in the car in endurance racing and any other bodily fluids that might come out when you haven't got time to pit stop. But a beautiful interior and the same layout of dials, same classic style Lucas switches, right hand gear change and the Ford GT badged steering wheel. We've opened up the clams on the three GT40s so we can see all the engines, gearboxes and all the ancillaries. All three engines in the cars are all Ford 302 units, 5 litre V8s, same sort of spec and design as you would have had in all the original Mark 1 GT40s. There are some very small differences between different carburetors, air filters, stages of tune, exhaust systems and lots of different options, which I'm just going to show you through some of them, but the basics are same engines, same gearboxes, all as similar to original as possible. On the Golf GT40, we've got an aluminium pancake air filter, we've got Edelbrock 4-barrel carburettor, performance inlet manifold. You see we've got classic crinkle black style rocker covers, we've got a matte black tubular exhaust race system, UN1 5-speed gearbox, rose jointed suspension, fully adjustable coilover shocks, and the Tornado superb space frame chassis. We've also got uprated brakes on the back there. You can see big vented discs and big high-spec calipers, all polished aluminium, and a really good engine bay. If we move across to the Essex Wire car, you can see again, same Tornado space frame chassis. This one's got GAZ adjustable suspension on it, rose joints on the suspension as well. I've added extra anti-adjustable roll bars on it. We've got a crossover exhaust system. This one's heat wrapped to help keep the engine temperatures down. We've got Ford Racing rocker covers. We've got a 4-barrel Holley carburettor, a chrome style pancake air filter. Something you might notice very different on this car, this has got the added storage boxes. At a certain year in Le Mans, storage boxes were needed to enter into the class that they were racing in. Originally they would have been slightly bigger and hang out the bottom. One would have had a spare wheel and one would have carried a suitcase. On this one, this is probably just to keep your bacon sandwiches warm. Now let's take you over to the Alan Mann car and have a look at the engine bay in that one. We've got the same Ford 302 engine with a UN1 gearbox. You can see here Holley carburettor, chrome pancake air filter, polished Ford Motorsport rocker covers, bundle of snakes crossover exhaust system, anti-roll bar, rose jointed suspension, very similar setup. Something that's a bit different on this one, they fitted some nice extra fans to help drag the cool air in and out of the back of the engine bay to aid with cooling in heavy traffic. Obviously not on the original cars. All three of these GT40s are the Mark I shape. The Mark I is by far the most beautiful shape in my eyes and the most popular of all the GT40 shapes. The Mark II was the first car to actually win at Le Mans, and the Mark I was less reliable in the early years. The Mark II won with the Ford factory team, but after that, lots of private teams like Shell, the Essex Wire and Alan Mann went racing with the Mark Is, and they became the cars that won Le Mans, won endurance races and lots of sports car racing thereon. Tornado do a Mark II body. We have personally converted one by putting a Mark II front and rear clam on a Mark I. They don't do a Mark III and don't do a Mark IV, but Mark I is the car that everybody loves, the beautiful lines, looks, shapes and sound of. Most of you know the Dan Gurney story with the Gurney bubble that goes in the roof. This is the standard door top. Dan Gurney famously was 6'3". They wanted him to race the GT40. In order for him to, with his crash helmet, fit in the car comfortably, they cut a hole and fitted a bubble to the roof. We at Total Headturners can supply and fit Gurney bubbles to any of the cars. Some of them come with it. The three we've got today are all the standard roof size. What I would like to show you, which is very special, is it's very rare to have two cars at the same time that have got removable door tops. So this car and the red Alan Mann livery car have got door tops that can be removed to give you more fresh air, like a T-top, open top driving, and I believe it can be added and retrofitted. Let me show you how that works. So the door is as standard, but underneath this one has got fitted a couple of bolts which we've left slightly loose for the purpose of filming, and you can undo these, don't lose your nuts and bolts, and we can actually slide the door top out, put this in a little bag in the passenger seat or leave it at home, and you've now got an open topped T-top style GT40. Must point out, it's really special to have two cars with these removable door tops. I spoke to Andy at Tornado only yesterday on the phone. He believes somewhere between 30 and 40 cars out of the 1,700 cars ever made only have this adaptable removable roof section. Let's take you inside the car and show you a little bit of the interior of a GT40. Getting in and out was designed for quick change at Le Mans. Removable steering wheels are on a lot of the cars and can be added to any of them. Makes it easier to get in and out. Once you're in, they're quite snug. We've had 6 foot tall people in these cars, no problem, but you do need to adjust the seat spacing in and out, up and down for the different drivers. All 3 of these cars have got the right hand gear change. The right hand gear change is correct for a Mark 1. It takes 5 minutes to get used to. Normal 5-speed H pattern and a reverse lockout switch to stop you accidentally going into reverse when you're coming into a roundabout and dropping down into second or something. Beautiful layout of the dashboard. The GT40s are a racing car, so they're designed to have the rev counter directly behind the steering wheel in front of you. Out on a racetrack, you don't need to know how fast you're going, so the speedo's right over there. On the road, you'll get used to glancing across when you want to monitor what speed you're doing. Important information like oil pressure, water temperature, again, important information that you need in the car directly in front of you. Additional information like your battery charging of your volts and your 2 fuel gauges. Each fuel gauge is for each tank. The tanks are in the seals on both sides, and we've got a switch on the dashboard so I can change from the right hand tank to the left hand tank or put it in the middle and turn them off. Beautiful basic layout and how they would have been on an original GT40. Some of these have got modern additions like 12-volt sockets, so you can plug in phone chargers and stuff, but that basic GT40 race car design is kept, and it's its basic form that makes it an exciting, fun car to drive. You're basically driving a huge V8 strapped to your back in a lightweight, low aerodynamic racing car. Driving a GT40 is a really exciting experience. You've got masses of torque in a lightweight car with a beautiful mid-engine balance, great road holding, something you can really get used to sliding around and using the torque, using the revs, the noise, the smell, the taste. It's a very exciting experience. A lot easier to drive than most people expect. Vision forward on a GT40 is excellent. You've got this nice open round windows and side windows, so you can see everything ahead of you really clearly, and you've got really nice driving position, slightly nearer to the centre of the car than in a lot of cars that people are used to driving, where you're much further over to one side. The noise and the push of the V8 from your back gives you that really exciting feeling, the excitement of trying to change gear from the right hand side, which guys who race early race cars would remember. Lots of cars, especially in the early race days, are all right hand gear change. You get used to that very quickly. It's a standard H pattern, easy to flick through the gears. You're just using the other hand than normal. Now, they're not for the faint-hearted. You can hear it's a noisy car. You've got a big V8 behind you that's singing along all the time. Quite sporty exhaust system. The noise is pushed behind you, but you do have to remember, you know, you are sitting very close to the engine, which makes you feel part of it, like it's strapped to your back, a V8 on a rucksack. Closest you'll get to a Le Mans racing car on the road. Very light, the steering's nice and agile, the bodywork and is very light, giving you a lightweight feel to the car. chassis is nice and rigid. This car's set up for quite perfect for my size. I'm actually reaching a bit for the pedals, but you can, by adjusting the seat and the steering wheel size, you get some of the taller drivers in here, no problem at all. Going down the rough bumpy lanes, you've got fully adjustable coilover shock suspension. We can dial that stiffer, softer, set it for how you want it. Often a medium setup is better, means you can ride the real roads with a bit of softness. This car's set nice, I quite like it. I think they're gas short coilovers, and I wouldn't mess around with it at all, feels nice. You can get quite carried away. Do monitor the speed limits when you're driving around in a GT40. It will pick up speed, and it's got what I call a lot of legs on it. It wants to get out on an open road. Finding those long sweeping A roads is where you'll go hunting for. But even through these narrow little British country lanes, easy car. Although they look like a very big car, if you actually measure a GT40, they're not that big at all. Probably just over 4 metres long, 4 metres and a little bit. Width, they don't feel like a wide car, but you're probably looking about 1 metre 80, 1 metre 90 on the rear end, depending on the size of the wheels and stuff you got. But you can see here these little narrow country lanes, you know, it's a nice turning in car, nice road feel, doesn't feel huge, and you can thread it through the lanes very easily. The induction noise of a proper V8 Ford carburetted engine, you can really hear it sucking the air in as you accelerate. Don't know if the cameras are picking it up, but in here the noise and the induction sound from the V8 is just beautiful. This car's got a lovely feel to the brakes. This one's got Willwood brake calipers all round. The standard brakes that Tornado fit on the cars are perfect for road use, but the uprated either Willwood or high spec or something like that definitely give you a bit more confidence to push her a bit harder. Obviously, being a V8, you've got tons of torque, so she's happy revving and driving fast, which is a 302 is a brilliant engine for that. It's a very compact, revvier unit than the bigger V8s. But at the same time, you can stick her in 4th gear or even in 5th gear at 40 mile an hour, and she'll just trundle along and act like a normal road car. Obviously, the fun's in the lower gears. The dash layout, as I say, is perfect. I like a car where the rev counter is the most important dial. The rev counter's right there in the middle, so I can see the revs. I know when to change gear. Don't even have to look down, I can see it out of the corner of my eye. You know, you go looking for the corners. Obviously, no ABS, no traction control. when you're driving a powerful V8 lightweight car, the right throttle is your traction control. So you use the throttle to feel the grip and use the amount of power that you need for the road surface. Your ABS brakes, you don't need ABS brakes. You feel the brakes, the car's very light, doesn't need masses of braking power to stop quickly. If you do hit the brakes too hard and lock the wheels, pump the brake and you'll find that'll give you exactly the use that you need. We actually just run out of fuel then, and I've just switched tanks to the other tank. Again, you can switch the fuel tanks from one side to the other out on the move. So you can fill both tanks and even the weight out from one tank to the other, or just use one then the other. Was designed for endurance racing. That was the idea behind it, evening out the weight and carrying more fuel, less pit stops. Quite common, people will let you out in a car like this. Everybody wants to see it and hear it. It's visually pleasing inside and the sound and everything, and I think the same for passers-by. You know, everybody loves to look at it in the traffic, see you driving past, hear it. All those things are what make a GT40 really exciting. Tornadoes are great cars. We've owned tons of them and they're really great. I recommend, if you're looking for a GT40, to consider one. Many modifications you can do to a GT40. Most of the cars I see and jump in and we own, I wouldn't touch them, but people have got different preferences. We've changed carpet sets for different colours, we've changed dashboard dials, switches, we've added special cameras, reverse cameras for people. You name it, there's not much you can't do if you really want to do it. But the joy of the car is that less is more. It's just you, a big engine, in a lightweight car that's exciting to drive and puts a big smile on your face. The iconic looks of a GT40, pull up at the local car meet where there's a line of Ferraris and watch the crowd turn their back on them to come and see the full GT. It's an iconic car, it's a movie car, it's a race car, it's you know, it's something that everybody recognises, and you know, an enjoyable thing to own. Highly recommend it as something, if you're looking for something different, a bit of fun, something that'll put a big smile on your face, really excite you. Come down to Total Headturners, have a look at some of our GT40s, have a look at Tornado. Good quality stuff, great fun cars. I really enjoyed driving the GT40s today, and I hope you enjoyed seeing them being driven. If you're considering a GT40, look at Tornado, look at us at Headturners. We've always got a wide selection of cars ready to go, and we've often got other makes and models, other replicas, Cobras, GT40s, D-types, lots of cars available all the time. Check out the website, www.totalheadturners.com, or we'd love you to pick up the old-fashioned telephone, have a chat, and if we haven't got what you're looking for, it might be coming very soon. Hopefully we'll see you at the showroom here one day.